You may be seated. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President William Ruto, who is also the party leader, UDA, leaders of the two political parties, ladies and gentlemen, Jambo, the ODM people here, ODM, ODM, ODM. You see, wako tayari. Well, I'm very happy to stand before you here this morning to talk to you after a long period of absence. You know that in the last 6 months, we've been engaged in the campaign on the continental platform, the position of the chair of the African Union. Some people ask me why I decide to run for that. I say that I was approached by senior leaders on the continent who, when they saw that that position was becoming vacant, needed somebody with a Pan-Africanist ideology to go and try to set that movement in the right path, that it can achieve the objectives for which the founding fathers formed it. So they then sent former Nigerian president, President Obasanjo, me, come and persuade me to run. After a lot of soul searching, made a decision. Some of you will have seen me with President Obasanjo on my side when I announced that I was going to run for the position of African chair. I did not expect to be supported by the Kenya government. But somehow out of blues, President Ruto announced that he would support my candidature. Or maybe, so this is a better way to get rid of him. Good riddance. I would say that, in respect of the motives, he actually was genuine because he followed that announcement by giving full support to my candidature. As you know, you cannot run the chair of African Union without being sponsored by your home government. You cannot just sit somewhere there. Mimi ni Professor Kithure Kindiki, I want to be a chairman of African Union. You will not even be seen. Your name must be presented by a government official through the embassy, Kenya in Addis Ababa. This they did. Not only that, but also the machinery behind my campaign. And Ruto himself called various presidents, made appointments for me, also persuaded them to support my candidature. He himself invited the president from East Africa, here in Nairobi, to basically adopt me as a candidate for the Eastern region. This they did. Kenyan ambassadors, all those foreign countries, were also informed that they would support my candidature, and whenever I went to, they received me at the airport, took me to the hotels, and also took me to meet with the president. I was able to meet more than 40 presidents on the continent. And I traveled Africa from east to west, south to north, like never before. You know that I have been the high representative of the AU use of infrastructure. So I'm not actually strange to these issues, I mean to the continent. But it gave me a better opportunity now understand problems facing many African countries firsthand, the leadership of the continent. Let's know that our continent has suffered seriously from innovations from outside. First was the slave trade that took many of able manpower across the shores to go and work building Americas, both North America and South America. Some were taken to Arabia, some were incarcerated there, died there. That was the first. Then came colonialism, where they went and set somewhere in Berlin, partitioned Africa, according to their interests. British, French, Italian, so on and so forth. So Africa has suffered seriously. Colonialism. And when Africans fought for independence, they granted it, flag, then there was also neo-colonialism that came about, and Africa has continued to be. So I saw this and came up with a program of how we were going to deal with it. Campaigned strongly. And we went to Ababa quite confident. So I went there, women here, Orange women in Nairobi, organized a prayer meeting for me, Thomas of Kenya. They prayed for my success. I told them that they were only going to do two outcomes. One, we would win, yes, we would have succeeded. The other one, we would lose, those who have succeeded. I told them why? Come back home. East and or west, home is, we were here. When I came back, I went to meet with the president in Mombasa to thank him for the support that the government had given me during that. And he was, of course, very gracious. And that time, I found when the two teams from the parties had worked out on documents they wanted to be signed, I told him I cannot sign the document until I've consulted. So it took time. From that time, met with the professor, met with leadership, elders in Kisumu, went to Siaya, went to Gori, Homa Bay, to Busia, where I met with all the leadership from all the 5 counties. Then I went to the coast, Mombasa, Malindi, Kilifi, Kwale. Came back, I went to Gia. Came back, yesterday I was in Kisii, Rock. I was in Nairobi, here in this same building here with leadership of Nairobi. That is what you call random sampling. And I think I managed to get the feeling of people, my supporters. That's the reason why I am today able and confident to sign this document. So I want to say this. Today, we have signed a memorandum of understanding between Orange Democratic Movement and the United Democratic. The cardinal goal of the MOU is to help ease the prevailing tensions in the country, reconcile the population, alleviate their suffering, and move the country forward by addressing critical social, political, and economic issues our people grappling with today. As leaders, largest political parties in the country, we arrived at the understanding that a time of significant challenges for our nation, not enough to merely grandstand or stand aside and criticize, easy as those. They say any madman can kick down a barn, but it takes a good carpenter. We have agreed to help build a barn for our country, rather than merely kick down what we have. We have agreed to use our parties as a broad platform, bringing together various voices, opinions, concerns, to address the critical challenges facing the country through a formation that is truly national and inclusive in outlook. A core problem we agreed to prioritize youth unemployment, resulting hopelessness that has made them easy fodder, political contests in which there is nothing tangible for them. This MOU, we agree to embark on steps to align the country's economic, social, and political priorities to address the youth agenda that has progressively fallen behind in the last 62 years of our independence. Through this MOU, we commit to uphold the Constitution, rule of law, and respect for human rights. Importantly, we pledge to tackle unemployment, cost of living, crippling poverty, inequality, and the failure of the institutions that have been eroded by inefficiency and corruption over the decades, making them unable to deliver to Kenyans. We seek a more equitable country in which all peoples, all backgrounds, included in the enjoyment of socio-economic benefits, are equal members of one indivisible nation. All Kenyans must feel that they belong here, the right to access, without any form of discrimination, whatever Kenya has to offer. We commit to protect and to strengthen devolution, the machinery for ensuring a more inclusive development across the country. In this regard, we will be tabling a proposal that the unbundling of functions that has been recently concluded, counties should get not less than 450 billion shillings in the 2025-2026 financial year. We will also seek the faithful flow of funds, political parties, being vehicles for the channeling of hopes and aspirations of the people. We will use this platform to revisit the constitutional provisions on leadership and integrity, corruption in public life, fundamental freedoms like free speech, protest and assembly, and preservation of the rule of law. We recognize many of the issues this country is struggling with, as old as the country itself. We will take mutual trust between leaders, the creation of a conducive environment for them to be tackled with honesty and objectivity in a broadly constituted formation. As leaders of under our parties, we commit to hold regular consultations on pressing issues, exchange expertise, and information on the best practices governance of the Republic of Kenya, and participate public activities of interest to the people of Kenya that relate to their problems. We make it clear that the memorandum we have signed today does not define the formation of a political coalition between ODM and UDA. However, its successful implementation would inform the basis of steps toward the establishment of a broadly constitutive and progressive formation for a stable country in future. We urge all Kenyans who are interested in having a stable, inclusive, progressive country, void of grandstanding and alienation of whole communities and regions, to rally behind this formation in the interest of our nation. God bless Kenya. Thank you. My pleasure now to invite my brother, William Samuel Ruto, to come, the party leader of UDA.